Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. And once again, you are hanging out with the Yinzer Bros. We are almost to the eve of the 2021 Pittsburgh Steeler football season. It's like Christmas, Tim. It's like the greatest thing ever. Tim, how are you feeling so far about the Steeler 2021 season?
I mean, I don't know how Kevin Colbert did what he did. I don't know if he has
He's a magician.
He is. He's pulling cigarettes out of his hat. He's pulling. I think I don't know how he did what he did with seems like $3.45 that we had. He's built. I think it'll be a pretty good team, man.
Yeah, he's a magician. The stuff that he did is just absolutely unbelievable. So are you optimistic? I mean, Tim, we do know that you kind of live on the backside where you kind of look at the bad parts of life. How are you feeling about the season? Do you think are you feeling warm and fuzzies, or are you feeling dread?
I mean, I think they're going to be over an 8.5 win team. I think so. I
think you're right.
I think a lot of things have to fall right, but I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be bad. Don't know if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but I don't think they're going to be bad.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they made some great moves to make themselves better. I think they addressed a lot of stuff. We're right on the eve, and we're coming right out of the gate. We got the Bills right in front of us. We'll talk about the Bills a little bit later. Let's focus on our guys. Let's break them down, offense and defense. Let's talk about the defense first. How do you feel overall about our defense this year? Are you feeling like worse than we were, the same, or have we upgraded places?
I think we've upgraded places. I mean, I am getting Melvin Ingram. The more I'm
huge
pickup.
Huge pickup.
You see nothing. Clowney's he doesn't practice over Cleveland. That dude, whatever. I mean, I think getting Ingram was going to be a huge thing.
Do you think he was an upgrade from Dupree? Bud, your guy Bud?
At this point in time, yeah, because I don't think Bud's still right. I don't think he's still right. I mean, Melvin Ingram's good, man. I mean, if you want to look at just accolades, Melvin Ingram's better than Bud Dupree over his career. You know what I mean? I think he's been in Pro Bowler multiple times. He may have been an All Pro one year. So I mean, his accolades are better than Bud Dupree. And for him to be probably our third guy in the rotation, it's pretty good, man. Pretty good. You got to love what they did with Joe Schobert, right? Boy, he's an upgrade. I've been saying it since. When have I been saying that 40? He can't cover anybody. Have I not been saying it? I mean, that's the reason why they got Schobert, because Spillane, he's a great special teams dude, but if you had him out there on the field, you're gonna get exposed.
Yeah, you're right. No, I mean, let's just be real. He's going to live on his legacy. The pinnacle of his life was when he stuck Henry. That's the pinnacle of his life. It's all downhill from there. What else can he do?
I agree. I mean, when he smashed, I think he lost everything when he did that too. I think he lost his manhood. I think he lost everything. So I mean, I agree with you. That's his pinnacle.
Something happens. I remember when Bettis ran over Urlacher. Do you remember Urlacher being that dominant, unstoppable guy after Bettis trucked him to get to the end zone?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I think he lost something. I think he lost something. And now he's doing those. Now he's doing those hair commercials, Tim.
I see him trust me, TJ. I see billboards everywhere I turn on the expressway. But I think Urlacher won after that. I think he won defensive player of the year. So I think he was all right.
I think we rocked.
But still, there's a big difference in comparing Brian Urlacher in Smash Face.
Spillane.
I mean, that dude Balboa. I mean, like I said, I think his last brain cell and his last athletic ability went away in that hit.
Yeah, Spillane's not a good interviewer either. He's not. And let's just be real too.
He sounds like Balboa in Rocky 1 or 2.
He does. I still don't think Bush is 100% yet. I think if I were to grade him, I'd probably put him at maybe 80%, I'm guessing. So I think Schobert's good for that too. I'll tell you what, when Bush gets back to 100%, let's hope he gets there.
Yeah.
Those two, tell me two better inside linebackers as a tandem in the league.
TJ, he better get back to 100% because if he is a 5'8" midget with no speed, he's gonna stink.
He'd basically be like a Harris, right?
Basically, you might as well pump me in, the middle and be like, "Ooh, yee."
No, I think we did some great upgrades on the defensive side of the ball. Hey, they picked up that other kid too, that corner who's a long guy. I mean, right now it's just depth, and again, I think we got. I think we still have to see what the defensive backfield is going to look like. That makes me a little nervous. I'm a little suspect.
I mean, 34 makes me shake in my boots. I mean, to me, if you're looking at anything on that defense, that's your glaring weakness is 34. You don't really have like a ton of safety depth either. So I'm
No,
kind
no,
of
you
shocked
don't.
they didn't make a move for safety. I mean, 34. Oh boy, I just have visions of him just getting beat by mediocre slot players all year.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's say like 34. If he wasn't a number one guy, let's say they drafted him in the third round. How would you feel about him as a third round pick?
TJ, he would irate me being a third round pick. I've seen him whiff on just too much stuff.
Yeah, he's. Well, I mean, we got of the three, we got the second. Well, hey, we're going up against the I think the top Edmonds brother with
Oh, that
Buffalo.
was the one that Tomlin thought he was taking when he took 34.
Right. So I mean, and let's just be real too. The other concern I have on the defense is Tuitt's not going to be playing. We still don't know what's going on with Tuitt. Is it his knee? Is it something with his brother still? I mean, we don't know what's
Something's
going
fishy
on.
with that, man. Which is it gets me kind of. But on the flip side is, truthfully, say he sits out for 4 or 5 weeks, might be a good thing. He comes back week 6, 7 for that stretch, kind of fresh,
Yeah,
because he
that's
usually
true.
gets dinged up here and there
He
at
does.
some point in the year. So
So I
I don't
guess
know.
I think they're starting Wormley. Is that who's going to start for him? I think.
I'm assuming they have to. They got
Yeah.
Wormley. I mean,
Got
Alua, which I don't know.
Bugs,
Bugs, Louder Breath, whatever his name is. I
Louder
don't know.
Milk.
Oh boy. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Louder Milk reminds me. He looks a little bit like Cam Hayward.
He does. He looks like a miniature Cam Hayward, but way less talented than Cam Hayward.
That's true. Well, Cam is a stud. Let's just be real. So I don't know. I think we'll see. I think for the defense, it's all about the pass rushers. If we can get pressure, that makes the defensive backfield look a whole lot better when you get pressure on the quarterback.
I mean, truthfully, the two positions. The slot is going to be the thing. I think Cam Sutton's going to be in there, as well as uh, I'm guessing Pierre's going to be on the outside of
He will.
Hayden.
Yeah,
They're
he
up.
will.
I mean, that's see how those guys do. If they play well, they're going to be fine. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the defense is not going to. The only way it would take a step back is just the competition they're playing this year because they got a little bit harder schedule. But I think they're going to be okay.
they do. Oh, let's jump to the offense then. The offense we made some serious upgrades. There's a lot of rookies starting on that offense. How do you feel about the offense? Worse, the same, or upgrade?
Let me put it this way: the weapons, I feel fine. I think they actually upgraded their weapons. Their skill position. For Firemuth, I mean, I'm all just be eating crow. That dude looks
Dude,
like
he looks like a stud.
he does look like a stud. I mean, uh, the line. I mean, put it this way: I, everybody's the line's gonna be so terrible, dude. They were the worst line in the league last year.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go but up.
So can
Yeah.
they get worse? I don't think so, but I don't know, dude. I mean, you're starting two rookies. Uh, I don't know what's going on with Banner. I mean, you gave him that money and he's just not healthy.
Mm.
Chooks gets me nervous. Their depth
Hmm.
gets me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Um, you're going to go as far as the line takes you. I mean, I've been hearing 50-50 things on the center, dude. Like a lot of times he's getting skated back
Hmm.
just because he's not a big dude. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think, like I said before, I think it's going to be one of those things where the line's going to get better as the year goes on.
Yeah. Well, I think picking up Trey Turner, I think it helps too. He's a little bit of a veteran presence,
It
and
de-
I
it
think
depends. It depends what guy you get. If you get the
that's
guy that
true.
was like a Pro Bowl, or if you get the guy that last year stunk. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
What's funny though? Sometimes we forget this. The systems help to make these guys too. Like I think I mean, here's a great point in that. Look at like a Le'Veon Bell.
Mhm.
He leaves to go to the Jets because he's this all world guy. He doesn't have the production there. Again, the system has something to do with it too. So if you're in the wrong system, Like I'm anxious to see. I want to see what Hilton does this year. What if Hilton was a very niche kind of boutique player? You take him out of that system, you take him out of that place. Can he have the same output in Cincy that he had here? I don't think he can. I think it'll be different.
No.
Yeah. Now my wild card. I'm anxious to see what this Moore kid can do. You're protecting Ben's blind side. If he can hold up, I think it'd be good. But you look at upgrades like obviously Harris, Najee is a huge upgrade. The more I see him, the more I just he could be a generational talent. He looks ridiculous.
He could. To me, it's he has something different about him, and I think again, I think that's going to help the line though too, because it seems like you can't bring him down with one person. You just can't do it. So we'll see.
I know it's early, and I don't want to knight him, all these things, but just what I see early, it's just he has that thing about him. He's big, he's fast. Just that one little thing he did, man, where he caught that little pass and he skated around those 4 dudes like TJ, they were nothing.
When you're seeing it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know it. I mean, dude, you knew when after Troy's first year, second year, when he started kind of melting around, this dude has something different. You see it with TJ Watt. You're like, this dude has something different. This dude has something just different, man. So I agree with you. I think he's gonna be something to be a force to be reckoned with. So
And you brought
and believe it or not, too. It's like I said, I hate saying I'm eating my words. Is you kind of see that in that Fairmouth kid too, man. Like he's got something that just it's it. You get the ball near him, it's like Velcro.
I know. I don't think name one tight end that the Steelers have had that catches like him. I mean, Heath didn't even have that kind of
no,
radius.
not that. Keith wasn't. This kid seems athletic. He's way more athletic than Heath. Oh, yeah. Just his athleticism. I mean, he goes up and gets the ball and just he turns his body in weird positions. I got this vision that they're just going to keep beating 85 paddle hands down your throat all year.
Well, what's funny, and I heard it this week. They kind of consider we may have 2 like number 1 tight ends. I did hear some.
What?
Well, they consider Ebron a number 1 tight end.
Who does?
Well,
on our depth chart.
Well,
Mike Tomlin may consider him a number 1.
Well, what I saw.
I consider him a scarecrow with stick hands.
This is where you could tell that he's getting a little shook a little bit because they interviewed him. He was talking about how he's committed to being a better blocker this year because he knows he can see the writing on the wall. Unless that dude can block, he's done. He's going to be gone.
TJ, he's gone regardless. Because guess what? Even if he turned into an all-world blocker, his hands are made of paddles.
That's true. They are. So I don't know. I think the offense. I mean, obviously we've got great weapons at the wide receiver thing, and I'll tell you what I've seen from Ben so far. Ben looks fantastic. Golly,
he had his vintage moment. It looked like in that preseason. We'll see what happens. I mean, they just can't get into the throwing the ball 40 times a game. They just can't do it.
No, they can't. And again, with Najee, I don't think you have to. Now again,
if that dude goes down, they are
we're done. We're done. Whoa. Hey, we got Samuels on the practice squad. If we need to bring up
watching
some
of them dudes, the other guys running, man. Oh, I was like, dude, it's like going from a Porsche to a Pinto within 2 seconds, man.
It's bad. And then let's just breeze through the special teams because Tim, we had, something amazing happen in the special teams. Your buddy Barry is gone.
Dude, okay, speaking of that, how did you see where he went? He went to the Vikings.
I saw that.
So the guy that Steelers brought in, Colquitt, Barry replaced him here. Then he went to Minnesota, and Colquitt, I think the other Colquitt was their punter. He replaced the other Colquitt. You got to really suck to be a Colquitt. I mean, the Colquitt, I don't know, they got to have a horrible gene if you got Barry replacing both of your siblings.
I know. I'm happy. I can't wait to see Harvard, to see Presley back there just, kicking. We got Ray back, taking stuff back again this year. Mm-hmm. He's our returner. I think we look solid on 3 aspects. Again, I know we didn't finish strong last year, but at one point we were 11-0. I think that's worth something. I think one of the things that tripped us up a little bit, we had our injuries, but I think we're going to be solid.
TJ, you were 11-0, and I get it. We lost some games. TJ, if you don't have probably what a just an earth-shattering, ball-breaking turnover in the beginning of that Cleveland game, they don't lose that game. They just
I agree.
don't.
I
If
agree.
Pouncey doesn't snap the ball over Ben's head by 30 yards, you don't lose that game. I'm
I
so sick
agree.
of hearing, dude. I'm so sick of hearing Cleveland fans. I hope they, TJ, if Steelers win 2 games all year, I hope they stick their foot in Cleveland's mouth and just turn it.
Well, let's
The,
just be
the, the
real.
Cleveland the Cleveland fans should raise a banner for a wild card playoff win against the Steelers. That's what they should do.
That's what they hang it. They should hang it in the stadium. You're right. Well, let's just be real. When the money's on the table, Cleveland has never ever come through.
They beat the Steelers. They did
Hey,
again.
God,
And,
if
and,
that's
and,
your Super Bowl,
and you
God
know
bless
what,
you.
TJ, and you know what? They were up by 30, and the Steelers still had a chance to win that game. I think when they had the ball to cut it to like 7, every Cleveland fan was going, "Oh my God, here we go." You figure we had a fumble, and I think we had four INTs, and I think the
We
Steelers only
did.
lost by 10 points.
We did, which is nuts.
Shut up.
Which is
Just
just
shut
nuts.
up. Oh.
So here's my question: are we going to see all these stinking Baker Mayfield commercials? I hope not. Those drive me nuts.
No, they're going to get replaced with I don't know who the hell Dak Prescott's going to be in every commercial you know to man probably.
Dak. Hey, he's an interesting guy too. We'll see what happens with him this year.
Mhm.
I don't know. So let's move to the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag, you may ask? The Yinzer mailbag is when you, the fans, get to ask us, the Yinzer brothers, any question you want. You can ask us stuff about football. You can ask us stuff about our exotic lives. I mean, we live, Tim and I live just at the edge all the time. I mean, rich and famous we are.
I
The Yinzer Bros have brought us fame. It has brought us fame. I did actually, Tim, on Sunday have
yeah.
somebody ask me when we're dropping the next Yinzer Bro podcast, and I said, "Well, you don't have to wait too much longer because it's going to be this week." And
Really?
dare I say, excited and even giddy.
I had a couple people same way, but I think they're just lying. So it is what it is.
I found out my own family doesn't even listen to the podcast, which really irked me a little bit. I may change some of my 17-year-old's. He may lose some privileges until I may quiz him on the Yinzer Brothers podcast.
You
I
don't
may
quiz them
ask him.
anything. You just start taking stuff away from them. Say, hey, do you want to drive tonight? Listen, subscribe, and rate.
That's right. You know what we should do? Let's say something right now, and we'll test him to see if he listened. Toby John, if you listen to this, your Uncle Tim will give you $50 if you can say the word Barnaby. What do you think, Tim? That's a safe bet.
Why do I have to give him $50? Can we go halves and halves?
Yeah, we can, but that's a safe bet for all of us. So, Tim, why don't you open up the Yinzer mailbag? What is in the Yinzer mailbag today?
I mean, do you want me to open up with the question of all questions?
Yeah, open it up. Open it up.
All right. The mush is back.
Yeah. Our big guy, our biggest fan.
I'm thinking about bringing him on with just like
You should.
We should bring him on one day, but I told him if we bring him on, he has to wear like a ski mask because I don't want anybody seeing his face.
A ski mask or a bag
Something, yeah, a brown bag with a frowny face would be hilarious.
Yeah,
and we can just have him go, and you can just hear me just the whole time go boo.
But we got to say he was right about Claypool.
TJ,
Claypool's a stud.
I'm getting nervous about the amount of Notre Dame players the Steelers are collecting. Because all that tells me is they will get just far enough with these Notre Dame players to get smacked by one of the good teams in the playoffs that have all the Alabama players. Less ND, more AL. Less ND, more AL.
We're starting to get a nice assortment of Wisconsinites too.
Yeah, that gets me nervous though too. You ever watch a Big Ten? That's horrible football.
So what do we got in the Yinzer mailbag, Tim?
All right, first one. How many throws will Ben attempt this year? Remember, he averaged 40 plus per game last year. Where do you think he's going to sit in the realm of throwing the rock this year, TJ?
I'm going to say, I think a sweet spot for him. I think if he's anywhere between 25, if he's in that 25 range, I think that's good for him. I think he's got to stay there. What do you think?
I think it's going to be between 28 and 32 a game. Anything higher?
Still better than
screwed.
40. Yeah,
it is way better. Right. If he's throwing the ball 40 times, TJ, unless he is vintage Ben 2005, we are in a world of hurt to do.
That's true. I think Najee's good. I tell you, if Najee's running, if we're letting the air out of the tires, why throw? TJ,
if that dude gets hurt, you might as well just see me. I'll be outside hiding under a rock going,
it's like Baltimore. They lost, 2 more guys today for the season?
I don't want to say anything. I hate to see it. Just hate to see it.
Tim, you got those 4 plays in the NFL. Maybe the Ravens will give you a shot.
Somehow Roger Goodell will bump all their games back just enough for those guys to recover from their ACLs so they can play their season.
They will. Doggone it. What else you got in the mailbag?
The Mush is asking, by what date will myself have a Najee Harris jersey?
You had ordered already? Didn't you order it already?
I didn't, man. I didn't.
So let me ask you a question. What jersey do you want more? Do you want Harris or Harving? Harris or Harving?
I got to say.
Come on, that's it. That thing's going to fly off the shelf.
That punter jersey the white one would be tough. Would be tough.
And I only gave you, I'll tell you what, I gave you to at least halfway through the year before you have a Fryermuth jersey as well.
No, I got the Watt jersey. I thought that was a solid investment when I made it. I bought one for my daughter. I think I'm going to ride this TJ Watt thing out for a while.
Yeah, well, Tim, but you get 1 or 2 jerseys every year.
TJ, I'm getting older. It's not cool my age now to be rocking, guys' jerseys that could possibly be my son. It just doesn't. I'm coming to that conclusion now. It's like I'm seeing these guys and I'm like, I could have fathered some of these kids. This is creepy.
Well, you got to get a Najee one because the last name fits.
I agree, but
see you're getting to live now what I lived in the 70s with Franco. There was nothing better than having a jersey that said Harris and you being a Harris.
TJ, you had like 4 years with that.
I did.
Yeah, but you were like 4. You're going to go run to the store and buy yourself a Franco Harris jersey? And Mom and Dad weren't buying you a Franco Harris jersey. They made you one.
Yeah. It was of duct tape and
Chris may have knitted you one or something, but they ain't buying you a jersey.
If you could get it at Sears, Aunt Chris would get it at Sears. She was a Sears lady. That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
So what else you got?
All right. They want to know. The Bush wants to know how many Steeler players went up on the list this year, and it's tough because they cut like 2/3 of my players. Like
they did.
They cut them up. 3/4 of them not on the list anymore. Like
let's go through it. You know that 34 is on the list.
He is.
So, and Ebron's on the list.
Yes, he's not paddle hands. 34 paddle hands.
Paddle hands on the list. So there's there's new opportunities.
Stupid Face is on the list.
Yeah, he's on the list too. Well, you got to think too. I'm guessing that you probably don't like. You don't like number 3 either, do you?
Boswell?
Oh no, excuse me. You don't like Haskins, do you?
Oh, Haskins is number 3. I don't like Haskins. It's not that I don't like Haskins. I like everybody that thinks. I don't like that everybody thinks he's good because Mason sucks that bad. Because they both stink.
They do.
So I don't hate Haskins. Claypool is he's low on the list because he just needs to stop doing TikToks and running his mouth. And the guy that I can see being on this list at some point is I don't know, man. I'm trying to 34. There's going to be a lineman at some point that gets Ben just killed. I'm like, that guy's automatically on the
list. Yeah. Well, they're a young line. Yeah. No.
I can't like Chicolo's not in the league.
Well, have you ever thought of this, Tim? This is crazy. Have you ever thought maybe Colbert and Tomlin are listening to the Yinzer Bros and everybody that we've been digging to get them out of here? Maybe they're like, you know what? These guys are geniuses. Let's just do what they tell us to do. Maybe, Tim, we built this team. Maybe it was us.
Does that mean I get a ring if they win a Super Bowl?
Maybe. I don't know. I think
that's a good point. That's a good point because they didn't pick up Edmonds' 5th-year option.
No, they did not.
That guy's gone too.
Maybe they were on the fence and they're like, but wait a second. The Yinzer Bros, they're not really big fans of Edmonds.
You're right. I never thought of it like this. This is like a cleansing.
Isn't that maybe all of our work? This national podcast is finally paying off.
Spallene's on the list too. See
what
happens?
He is. Yeah, he's on the list.
He made the list now, and they brought in another guy.
They did.
Maybe you're right.
Is that a coinkydink? I don't think, Tim. I think not.
But how do we get? I mean, Mush is on the list. He'll always be on the list. So that's
well, that's another. I can't. We got no power with that.
All right. All right. Next question up. Let me think here. Is there anything 34 could do short of going on IR or get traded to get off the list? And do 2 Edmonds equal the one not with the Steelers?
Yeah. Well, no. I still don't think they.
TJ, you add both of those up together, you may get a third of the athletic ability of the other Edmonds.
That's true. That other one's a stud.
I don't want to see anybody get hurt, so I don't want him to go on IR. Yeah. I just want him to go away. I don't care how they do it, so let him go away.
Well, let's just be real. He's not going to be a Polamalu. He's just not. I mean, we don't need him to be that. We just need him to be a counterpart to Mika.
TJ, I don't need him to. TJ, I just need him to. I just want him to tackle somebody. Yeah. It's not air. He is like the Ebron of blocking when it comes to tackling.
That's true. He's not very good.
Less rapping, more tackling.
That's right. That's right. And I'm tired of watching guys run past him. You're a safety. Guys run past him like they're us out there.
TJ, you can't. I was a safety. Your first responsibility as a safety is what? Don't let anybody get behind you. It is. It is what it is.
That's great.
The last question the Mush has. Prediction of the record, the Steeler record, before the Steeler Nutcracker comes out. TJ, when that nutcracker,
you got to get rid of that Nutcracker, Tim.
TJ, when he brings that Nutcracker out, I just get shook. It's in my head. It's bad.
He's got real estate in your head.
I mean, all types of. I mean, I don't know what to do if that Nutcracker comes out. I'm gonna crawl under. TJ, I've been buying random hats and random things to hopefully break the curse of the Nutcracker.
You know what you need to buy? You need to buy a Notre Dame Nutcracker.
I thought about it, TJ, but that's a lot of money to spend on Nutcracker. But then again, TJ, I don't even want to tell you how much I spent on this hat, thinking that it may break the curse.
How many corduroy items do you have, Tim?
TJ, this hat came from Australia. Just to give you a heads up.
Tim.
This isn't even made in the United States. This is from Australia.
How hot is that hat right now?
TJ, I wore it somewhere outside, and it was like the worst mistake in my life.
It may be nice in the wintertime. So that's it. What do you think? What do you think
TJ,
the Steelers record is going to be?
This is an indoor hat. 30 degrees and below hat. That's all this is.
That's all that is. So what do you think they're going to finish up as? What do you think their record? And we get 17 games this year.
What do I think they're going to end up in?
Yeah.
I think they're going to have 10 to 11 wins.
I think that's a safe bet. I could see them like 12-5 maybe.
That's tough, man. That schedule's tough.
Well, you know what? The reason I'm adjusting a little bit, I wonder if, Baltimore may not be as fierce as we thought.
Oh, you think, TJ?
Since he's a dumpster fire still.
Well, you think Baltimore's not going to be as good? TJ, they lost their best corner. They got Lev Bell. And for the people that I heard comparing the TJ Watt thing to Lev Bell, the Steeler fans need to let TJ Watt hear it like they gave to Lev Bell. I'm like, no. You know why? Because TJ Watt was out there practicing. Even though he wasn't taking full team reps, he was out there.
He was.
Lev Bell was rapping about, I want 16 mil.
And dude, I mean, let's just be real. I mean, and I'm going to read it again. You said the quote, and this just made TJ Watt a lesson or a legend. This was the tweet. The Steelers outside linebacker TJ Watt overruled his agents who believed that they could get more money today. He marched into the office of the Steelers president, Art Rooney, and told him that they had a deal. Right then and there. Then the NFL's new highest paid defensive player excused himself and announced he had to go to work. So
you know what he did? You know what he did? I heard his work. He went right to the weight room. You know what he did after that? Probably drank a chocolate milk to get some protein.
He probably did. And then he tweeted this. This is from him.
You know what Lev Bell was doing? he was rapping, getting one of his 3 women pregnant. I don't know what he was doing.
You're right. And then he tweeted this. He said, "If it's okay with Yins, I'd like to stay a while. Let's go, Pittsburgh." Dude, what couldn't he do? He could run for mayor right now. He'd get it in a landslide.
TJ, you should be you should be the happiest person on the planet that your name is associated with
That's
TJ
what I'm
Watt.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he is.
Is that a coincidence? Perhaps not.
Exactly. The people that are comparing us to Bill, I'm going, you guys are out of your mind. Or even, you hear the thing Roddy White said about AB, comparing it to AB? They made AB the highest paid receiver in the league. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Just why? Just shut up. TJ Watt, Lev Bell, bye. He needs to go away somewhere.
Yeah. But, I pray to God this isn't like a LeGarrette Blount thing to where, he has a resurgence and, Blunt's with us. He has his mishap and he gets 2 rings.
TJ, there ain't no way. What? Is Lamar Jackson going to be throwing dimes to Lev Bell in the slot?
No, he's not.
No, just stop yourself.
Anything else in the Yinzer mailbag?
No, I'm all fired up now about that whole situation. People comparing Lev Bell to TJ Watt. Just stop it.
It's just dumb. So once again, if you have anything you want to ask us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, that's yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, we may read one of your questions or comments on our podcast, our national podcast. Let's take a quick peek at the Bills. A lot of hype around the Bills this year, and deservedly so. Allen is a good quarterback. He took a big step up, but before that, he wasn't. He had his struggles. The Bills, they don't have a whole lot of injuries right now. They look like a pretty solid team.
Real. Let's be real. The Bills are a wagon. They're a goddamn wagon, dude. So let's just say it as it is.
Now they did beat us last year, but we were undermanned last year, and they didn't crush us.
I get it, TJ. TJ, nobody on that field could cover Stephon Diggs. I think he had 5,000 yards against us.
Well, but who was covering him?
I don't care. No, I don't care who was covering. Somebody. At some point, you got a double, triple team, but he was still catching balls.
Yeah, we don't do that. Remember, that's one of our defensive flaws.
That team's a wagon, dude.
We don't flip our guys. So, how do you feel if we happen to beat them week 1? What does that do to the NFL?
Oh, TJ, if they beat them week 1. Like, I may just 17-0. 17-0.
That's great. So what's your score prediction for the game?
TJ, I would love to say, I think I picked the Steelers. I don't know if I picked them every game to win last year. I do it every year. I just think, truthfully, I'm a little nervous about the D-line being a little beat up. Yeah. I think I'm going to say, I hate to do this. I'm going to say 27-17 Buffalo.
So I'm going to say 27-14 Steelers. I want to see how dominant our defense is this year.
So who are you going with your offensive player to watch of the game?
Najee Harris. I think we're going to find out who Najee is. Now, again, Buffalo's got a stout defense. So let's see what happens here. Now, I think the Steelers can attack you again. And here's another wild card too. Perhaps Freiermuth, man. I'll tell you what.
That's my welcome to the NFL. Pat Freiermuth this week. I think he is going to be a key in this game. He's going to have some nice catches because I have a feeling what's going to happen earlier is Paddle Hands is going to paddle hand.
Do you think Ben's going to even throw him the ball?
I do, and I think he's going to drop it. So I think they're going to have Freiermuth in, and he's going to produce, and he's going to be an issue for people this game.
So how about this for a prediction? I think Freiermuth is going to have 2 TDs. Right up the seam.
But I think he's going to have more receiving yards than TDs, but we'll see what happens.
I think when we get down to the red zone, I think the Steelers are scary in the red zone. Especially, there's just a lot of mismatches. When you think about Freiermuth and Paddle Hands and Claypool, you're talking
TJ,
about.
You can't say he's a mismatch when his nickname's Paddle Hands.
Well, you're talking about these are big guys, and then you throw Juju in the mix.
I understand he's a big guy, but if you can't catch, so is what's the other tight end they have? It's like 6'14",
he's ginormous.
Is
that Raider? Is that who that
Radar? I don't know. Is it Radar?
Yeah. Oh, he's massive, dude. He's like 6. He's like 6'8".
He's a big dude, man.
I saw him down the Philly game. He's huge.
But you can't, TJ. If you can't catch, I don't give a damn what you do. You must just be one of Ben just supposed to throw it against a field goal post. Be like, yep.
How cool would it be if Freiermuth had 2 and Najee had 2, right out of the gate?
It would be great. It would be setting the NFL on fire, and it would help my fantasy team dramatically.
So if that happens, are you going to get both their jerseys the next day?
TJ, let me just put it this way. I got Najee in multiple fantasy leagues. If something happens to him, I might as well just flush the money that I spent on fantasy leagues down the drain.
Tim.
So what about your defensive player?
Defensive player of the game, I think we're going to have an inspired, fired up TJ Watt, and I think he's going to just be a wrecking ball.
I don't think he's going to play enough to be that big of a difference impact. I'm going to say this.
You think
you
Joe?
Know what? No, I think it's going to be Cam Sutton. I think he's going to be our player of the game.
That'd be great. Let's hope so. I hope you're right. I hope it's not Harvin. Let's hope it's not him. Let's hope he's not the player of the game because he punted 17 times. Let's hope he's not the guy.
If that's, whatever, man.
We don't want
whatever.
That. All right. Well, Tim, that's all I have. Anything else you want to add to the podcast today?
No. It's exciting. Steelers frenzy. I think we're gonna have a little bit. I don't know if I have I don't know how many outfits I can produce this year come Steeler games, but we'll see. I think there's going to be many surprises and many different things compared to last year. Poking up on the Yinzer Brothers.
I love it. I think
to entertain the people. To entertain the people.
It's for the people. That's why we do it.
It's for the people.
Just to remind everybody, too, we're in full swing now, which means we'll drop 2 podcasts a week. We'll do a podcast right after every game, and then we'll do one midweek to prepare you for the next game. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, pass the podcast along, spread the word.
Please.
Tell your families, your friends, your enemies, anybody. Let's get everybody on the Yinzer Bros train. Get on board, baby. Get on board.
Everybody, I don't want. If you're from Cleveland, I don't want you to be on this train.
You can get on there. You can be a closet.
No, I don't want them on here. I would rather have 3 people than a million from Cleveland.
Well, I understand. It's a big year for Cleveland. A lot of pressure.
I can't wait.
A lot of pressure. Once again, I'm TJ. This is Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. We will see you, hear from you, or you'll hear from us again after the Buffalo game on Sunday. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
We still number 1 out here. All right.
See you next week. Oh, Jocko makes the return.